What got me into cars, it's really a recent thing. My major at RIT was mechanical engineering technology. I gotta admit, the MET major, there are a lot of car people involved. So talking over group projects with people, it would come up a lot. Some people have some really neat setups. I think I had a couple of Broncos that he's fixed up. I tried a little bit of a stint with the RIT Baja Club, but it's full throttle over there and long nights, so I didn't really stick with it. But definitely being around people who were really into cars and anything with a motor really helped get me interested and get my hands dirty on something. In terms of what got me into this car, I think it was mostly self-driven. There are a number of things I could have bought, I guess, with the money, but in terms of what I wanted to do with it, what I wanted to wrench on, sort of decided on this as just a first car to really look at fixing up and driving, and certainly not something I plan on holding on to forever, but it's a good start. My car in high school was a Saab, and I just kept it barely running. I didn't really know how to do anything on it. It was pretty complicated. It's really the Miata that got me into it. I know a couple people that own them. I've always thought it'd be fun to have a small, roadster, lightweight. This is the first thing I've really worked on, so it's a new thing for me. So just buying tools as I use them, and every time I do something on the car, it's the first time I've done it, but it's fun that way, Well, this one in particular was very cheap. The reason I got this one, other than that, was that it was from the South, not a lot of rust on it, and the guy I bought it from seemed like he had a pretty good idea, what it needed, what it didn't need. But it turns out he had some stuff done with it that wasn't really up to where I wanted. A lot of maintenance items that were kind of neglected, but a couple small tweaks along the way. Like if there was something I could do that would make it a little better than it was from the factory, then I'll do it that way if I'm repairing it anyway. So the clutch are done a little better than they would have from the factory. There are a lot of race car parts kind of for these for racing, so if it's something cheap, something that the racers use, I'll throw it on, why not? I did autocross it once. First time I went, blew a fuel injection O-ring, so I was squirting fuel in the parking lot on the way home. So definitely gonna need a little bit more maintenance before the next one, but I feel pretty confident in the spring and get it out, do a little more hooning. This would need a lot of thousands of dollars before it got anywhere near a track. But autocross was fun. Future plans for this car, definitely paint the hardtop so it doesn't look like Superman. Add the couple items that are still missing. There are a couple guards and splash shields under the car that aren't there. As far as performance, I'd like to maybe think about turbocharging it. It's a couple $1,000s, but it would give me basically double the power if it's done right. So that's something that's in the back of my mind. Although I like it as it is, just winding up the engine. So. The thing that drives me most to work on this car is just being able to drive it. Again, I'm not really at the point where I can do performance upgrades that much. It's mostly just making sure it's not something that's going to leave me stranded. You can see it's pretty dirty. It's actually bent because of the previous owner's installation, but in horrible shape. And I discovered the reason my car wasn't starting when I came back from shopping occasionally was because this is shorted out, or actually opened really, because these two wires weren't really joined well. It's also a wire nut, which shouldn't be in your gas tank. So between the two, this wasn't getting power and I was getting stranded. But being able to know that the car is more reliable every time I fix something or discover something else that's a little bit of a surprise, it's a good feeling. So ideally, if I can have this so that I can drive it home to Connecticut, it's a home run. So. And Matt and I realized that it said Sweetie where there used to be a decal on the windshield in cursive script with hearts. So ever since then, we realized it wants to be named Sweetie, so the car is now Sweetie. That's pretty much the story of that. That was like the first week I got it back about a year ago.